Wait for it. Wait for it. All right, continue.
Am I starting from the beginning or am I continuing?
You just start. Right, just start over. It's been a rough week.
That one was not my fault.
Oh God!
Everybody, welcome to the chat wheel. Better late than never. With me this week, Mason, Wade, Dota, Ciotti. How are you?
I am doing very well, Darius. How you doing today?
Good. Congrats on the new team.
Oh, thank you
Greg?
so much.
Greg, what is hip, Laird? How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm angry at our esteemed not here guest, and very happy with our last minute guest.
Indeed. And with us this week, a very awesome person for jumping in, who was apparently was waiting for the show.
I was.
My God.
That's incredible.
Sheever, how are you?
I'm doing good. I saw a tweet, 10 minutes from now we're going live. It's like, yes, I have something to do while making a schedule. And then 20 minutes later, no chat wheel.
30 minutes.
You know whose fault that was?
Capitalist.
God damn it. So
Yes.
tonight,
Yeah.
Capitalist was supposed to be on the show. Apparently, he's the Napitalist and fell asleep. So, Sheever's here instead. And we like her better anyway, so it's fine.
That's
Yeah, that's
right.
true. We don't even like Cap. We
Understandable.
just had him because there was no one else.
Yeah, I know. The only issue was, like, we really tried our best this show to make our notes about, like, stuff he would be into, so he did join Dota leagues and all that. So if you saw us in the last, like, 10 minutes, I was like, fuck, and then clearing everything off and then finding new
Just
stuff.
erasing everything.
Yeah. And, like,
perfect.
Sheever's coming on. So let's start the show, I guess. Sheever, how have you been?
I've been good. Been doing my thing, basically. Just enjoying Dota life, I guess.
What have you been up to recently? Like, I know you've been doing the Hitbox TV, King of the Hill, right?
Yeah.
How's
I've
that
not
going?
been doing that many special new stuff, actually. Well, I've been casting the Hitbox TV thing, which is actually, by the way, was a pretty good experience. Just for me, the chat didn't work, which is actually a very good experience too sometimes. So that was decent, and the series itself was just fun to cast as well. And of course, I had 1437 as co-caster. You can never go wrong with that. So that was fun. And I'm casting the Yard White Festival, which is a Russian tournament, or at least organized by, or Russian, a CAS team tournament, or at least organized by a CAS organizer. And that's been a lot of fun as well. So
Nice.
yeah, been doing good.
And you were able to see the Dendi Meepo Rampage, correct?
Yeah, I was.
I missed it, but how magical was it? Scale 1 to 10.
Well, you know, it was a bit hectic because first of all, I was supposed to have a co-caster and I did not have one, so I was by myself. Which is, as a caster, you don't want to be with two. It's more fun that way.
We know all
Casting
about being
is
ditched.
so
We know all
much.
about being
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
So
Yeah.
sucks.
Well, then I casted. I've casted 2 matches. One best of 1 was best of 3, and the first one was already kind of weird and active. And it's CAS team, so there's a lot of kills, so that's very taxing on the voice. And then you're casting next KZ versus Roxkiss, and you're expecting a nice match. And then there's a Dendi standing in, and then all of a sudden there's 20k people on your stream, and you're solo casting, which is not something that I want to do for 20k people. Normally I just want to have a co-caster with me then. And then there is a Meepo played by Denny, and there is a Rampage in every single game in the series. So it was an experience, that's for sure. It was a fun one. I hope that people experienced it as such as well. But it was fun.
And we're actually going to talk about that Denny thing later, but I don't want to get too, sidetracked because that's for a topic later. So how do you think Hitbox is going to do? Do you think it can be a serious contender against Twitch, or do you think it's going to have a lot of trouble?
I think for a while it will be kind of slow. They'll really have to get the tournaments, they have to get the sponsors, or they have to sponsor tournaments and sponsor other organizations coming to them. They have to still work a bit on their servers as well, and we noticed that as well when casting their infrastructure was not really ready to handle the amount of viewers yet, especially chat-wise. It just got stuck. But I think that it definitely looked good and looked interesting. And I hope that they can keep it up, and that's the main problem. Can they keep it up, and for how long can they invest without getting maybe a lot in return? Depends really on how Twitch improves, because Like right now,
Yeah.
Twitch is having an issue with the chat. Chat servers are down, and they sent tweets about that saying that it was going on, but it's not fixed yet, or at least not on my screen.
Were you able to get your name on Hitbox?
What do you mean? Oh yes, because I registered before
damn
the
it.
series.
Okay.
I have.
Everyone
named
has
Sheever.
theirs for mine. I'm so sad.
Greg's got taken.
I got
Mine was open.
taken. So
I can't wait to just see who's
they took,
impersonating
like,
Greg and what they say.
Yeah, they took so many people's names are taken on Hitbox. Like it's so.
I
frustrating.
pray to God that when they stream on the What Is Hip channel, it's like the biggest flame to you
Oh my God.
ever. It's all the purpose of that stream is.
I'm expecting there's gonna be some grand overlord scheme when using all these chat names. I don't know. It's kind of funny though. Well, whatever.
And so finally, we would be amiss to ask, how's Bulldog?
Well, it probably is fine. Yes.
Did you do the beer date that you're supposed to do? Or the beer meeting? Or the beer...
Beer meeting. Okay. So the last night in Kiev, at some
Yeah.
point, Poppy took my phone and tweeted. I said yes,
Okay,
and then my mom asked me, "You said yes to what?"
Your mom's like,
And
he's such a nice boy.
And then I said to a beer. So and we wasn't even at the after party. So no, that had nothing to do with Bullock at all.
Thank God, because you feel like you'd have to at that point. Like, well, I kind of said yes, right? Now I feel bad. I'd disappoint him. I might as well humor the guy.
No, well, he wasn't at the after party, so
Thank God.
He chickened out. He was too nervous.
I know.
spending the night with S4 was probably a privilege.
You know what? That's very true.
All right. Well,
Not bad. Well, all right, so we're going to move on to the actual topics of the show. There was a Reddit thread popping up about the Battle of the Studios happening soon, the staff cups, if you will. And it's supposed to be coming soon, so who do you think would take a prize, theoretically?
BTS,
We've got,
easy.
Hold on, we
BTS's
got...
team is so good.
Well, who is their team? Because Merlini is going to be in it, right?
Yeah, Merlini, Gods, Winter. If
But they have,
if
like-
all three of them play, then I don't think we
That
could
is pretty
possibly lose.
unfair.
But you have you just named 3 people on 3 different continents.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Ping would be a disaster, I guess.
I'd still be afraid of Winter.
I still wouldn't want to play them though.
On the other hand, Dota Cinema has Cinderin now.
That is true.
Cinderin plus 4 feeders.
I think it can carry them.
You got a
mean,
good
going-
studio?
Good Studios they were pretty good last time, and Too Good is he's amazing. Like he picks up a game, and then a month later, he's just god mode at it. Like he got good at Dota so fast, it's ridiculous.
I think to make it fair for the GD Studio, they would have to bring in Pyrian as their 5th, and sort of bring them on the right level of everybody else.
Oh man.
Well, actually, just in case people don't know, James had mentioned that Too Good Studios is supposed to be back on the 27th. He said 27th, then the 28th, and he said the 27th. So it's supposed to be the 27th, I believe. But they're supposed to be having an announcement or doing something on the 27th because they've been kind of dormant recently. Which
So
I missed them.
more announcements of announcements then.
I've heard,
Pretty much,
I've
yeah.
Heard,
Yeah.
I've heard whispers that Lumi is in Sweden. But I don't know if that's
I
true.
saw on
That
Reddit
is
today
complete
that
speculation.
No, I saw on Reddit today or yesterday that Lumi was apparently supposed to arrive on the 17th, which is today in Sweden, or yesterday, I guess. Today, for you.
Depends where you are. Yeah.
He's vacationing. Not a big
It's-
deal.
In
Absolutely.
Sweden, in winter. Who is vacationing in Sweden in winter by choice?
Nobody.
Lumi.
Winter.
There is one dark horse, though, the underdog for the Staff Cup.
Oh god.
The What Is Hip All-Star Feeders.
Oh, yeah.
I can guarantee the feeder part of that for sure.
He's so afraid of us being in it. He really is.
It's not even
all-star part.
We've been trying to talk to Greta about we should get in the staff cup, it would be a lot of fun, and he's like, no, we're not quite a big enough name yet, but
And we'll
in
figure-
reality he just doesn't want to play with us because he would just shame himself.
It came out later because I said, dude, we should do it. He's like, no, we'd be fucking destroyed. All right? They're so much better than us. I'm like, now the truth comes out. But it's not about that. And I blame you.
I played 5th.
Yeah.
We'll bring
I
Charlie
played
as our
in the
winner.
other Staff Cup, man. I played in the Staff Cup before.
Did you play for GGNet?
No, there was remember the other Staff Cup that Kala did? I was
Oh,
in that
yeah,
with NY John, Mott. Mott went Kraken Shell first on Tidehunter once, and I flamed him forever.
So who's on the team exactly? Like you three, and then?
Oh, who knows?
Us three.
We have no
It's,
team.
we play 3 versus 5 to keep it fair.
It's us three, and then maybe we could convince. I don't think Charlie would play for us.
We need ringers.
Convince him
Really
not.
would.
I think Charlie would play for us.
Throw Coddle guy in there. Sheever
Yeah.
will play.
Us
Come on
and
over.
Charlie
She
Coddle
would play
guy.
too. We'll have
Pass.
ringers. We'll get Beatas. We'll get Beatas. There we go. Can't lose. Although,
As long as we're playing ability draft.
yeah, I've been playing Dota with Beatas lately, and if it's not ability draft, he just abandons the game. He doesn't like normal Dota anymore. He's been
Burned
shamed.
out.
Yeah.
Well, last week Greg said like, oh, I can't stand ability draft. I don't like it. Then Beta shows up and he's playing it like 5 hours a day.
Okay, I've played like 4 or 5 games total in the past 2 weeks of ability draft. I don't like it that much.
Fair weather fan.
Alright,
Oh, BD
whatever.
is sure. I'll play
He
with
just
you.
doesn't
Alright,
like us.
I'm just
Like-
gonna go home. I'm just gonna
You
go
are
home
home.
today.
Yeah.
Alright,
Home.
I'm
What's that behind you?
Okay, so
Set
everything is
microphone.
I have laundry everywhere. If you like look at my bed, I just did laundry. So there's like 3 loads of laundry just sitting on my bed. It's like tall. You can probably see it actually. Look how much.
You blocked it with your chair. Oh,
Look
I
at
know
that.
that feeling. You know what you should do to make
so
people not
much
see
laundry.
it? You should spread it out more. Put your blankets over it. Nobody will notice. I have
No.
experience. It's good.
So much laundry.
Put in the shape of a body, right? The clothes underneath the blanket.
There's someone in your bed.
Speculation.
Oh my god.
Just
All
kidding.
right,
it's
so-
Phoenix.
So the next notable thing, which we've been away for, like, we didn't have a show last week because stuff happens. But Speed Gaming got picked up by Cloud9, and they are very, very happy about it.
Well, it's a
Can
real
imagine.
team that doesn't have
You know?
Marco on it, so I'd be happy
Stable
too.
name.
Yeah.
Saint management.
I expect that conditions will be better for them. We'll see if C9 might have like a LOL house or something. I imagine.
I mean,
not gonna
they're a
be
pretty
good.
successful League of Legends organization.
I don't think. I think I heard that they don't really want to move though. Everyone's happy sort of playing in their house. Ping's not really that big of an issue for them. AUI doesn't really care about ping as much as most players. He said a lot that he doesn't really mind playing on ping as long as it's below like 160 or something.
I don't know. People complain a lot about ping, and I mean, obviously, at the professional level, it's really different. But I mean, if you're playing like U.S. West to Europe, then yeah, that's a pretty.
That's
significant-
basically
Yeah.
the problem is that AUI can't really play in Luxembourg without it being a disaster. I think he does sometimes, but they try to avoid it.
It is you have to when you have to.
Yeah. So.
Did you guys see the picture of EE's face like shopped on to like the archangel like ascending into heaven in the clouds?
No.
Yeah, I wanted a wallpaper.
I'll,
for that.
see that.
Let me see if I can go find it, and I'll post it in chat.
It's an esport. It's an esports website. Esex, if you will.
Oh, it's on eSex?
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Alright, well,
I'll find
Well,
it.
well, while you're looking for it, we'll move on. One of the big things that happened this week actually was Zephyr did it. They won.
Yeah, I'm clap for that too.
They did it, team.
I'm
That
really
was
happy.
good.
And Blitz put out this big blog about. Go ahead, Greg.
I was just saying I'm really happy to see them win. I'm really good friends with Kevin and pretty good friends with Will. So, I don't know. I stayed up and watched the games, and they're very good. They seem to be much better than everyone right now, but we'll see if that stays. I think I watched like a blog, or I don't know if I read this in Blitz's blog or watched this in Kevin's like video blog, but they're like 14-0 in competitive matches right now.
Yeah.
And like they haven't lost in the last 14 games, so they're looking pretty good.
Have they
Also,
dropped a
Febby.
series yet?
Yeah, they've lost series, but they lost one. They lost to EOT Hammer in the winners bracket. The people that they won in the finals against,
Yeah.
they lost in the
I
winners
mean,
bracket.
that's a pretty legit record for a couple
Yeah.
months worth of work.
Yeah, well, that's like just like the past since losing that game, they've gone 14-0. But
Was
fuck
kind of
Febby.
amazing.
That's my thoughts on that matter.
Febby was probably the best thing that ever happened to him. Really
Could be.
think about it. You know, I mean, personal blessing. What I didn't know was that Perian had a hand in it, and he put some money up to help him out.
A bunch of people did, yeah, but
Yeah, I
Karen
mean-
also did.
Perian's a good guy.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I listed Pyrian, Purge put up a lot of money, and who was the third again?
LD.
LD. Like that's a pretty big investment to, like, you know, move a team to Korea. Basically, like, yeah, they had a place to stay, but you know, good for them for having faith.
They're paying
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
that
yeah.
tournament.
90K worth of PCs, right? They said.
Yeah, I mean that's it's not chump change, you know. So good for them for having faith, and you know, really glad that it paid off. You know, not Blitz in his blog said, you know, even if we hadn't won, it still would have been worth the experience. You know, to be able to get there and prove that they can really compete. But good thing they won.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think the big thing now is since they won, like finances aren't really a thing they need to worry about while they're there the whole time. So,
And the money gets actually siphoned out every month for like 10
like
months. So they can't just take the
payments.
money and run. Sheever, were you able to watch the games?
I was not able to watch the game. It starts at 5 a.m. in my time, and I normally sleep kind of late, so no, I wasn't. But I heard the
Gosh, you
story.
have so many plushies.
Plushies. Oh yeah, I do,
jealous.
don't I?
I have like 3. I'm so.
But you know my
jealous.
secret? Because I actually, like, there was a guy that at TA3 that was buying the balls to get that courier thingy, the shitty wizard, and he didn't want the plushies.
Oh, the plushies are awesome.
They're like-
Yeah, I got the plushies.
I have one.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
hanging
like,
between
items
the
are
headphones. I have a Tide Hunter, so it looks like he's listening to the headphones. Then I have Enigma hanging from my microphone. It's great.
I mean, like the in-game item codes are cool and stuff, but it's all about the plushies, man. Who doesn't love a good stuffed animal?
Yeah,
I'm
I got
upset.
the plushies.
I'm upset. No
courier.
one,
You have supplies behind you, paper.
Good old
no
office
one noticed
supplies.
my amazing like colored paper, right? There's a fan. There's some certificates
Dude,
that I have.
even I've got something. You're slacking.
Oh,
You're
another
behind.
plushie. Where's your plushie, Darius? Where is your plushie?
It's on my bar at home. I'm not at home right now. I'm doing this from work. I brought a webcam and like my headset, and I'm like, let's do this.
Does your boss have Twitter?
No, he does not. but it's after hours anyway. At this point, it's
Okay.
after dark.
Okay.
It's 6:44, and it's a holiday in the U.S., so
So
here
anything
just-
goes.
Yeah, I'm in.
So you've just been
I'm just
sitting
here
at
to be
work,
here.
like waiting for the chat wheel. Doing
Pretty
nothing.
much.
I mean, he
watched,
hasn't worn pants all day.
which is really awkward because I'm like in a library. I've been watching episodes of Hunter x Hunter for no reason all day. So, new Team Dog. Woof woof. Demon's new team. Demon, Pycat, Misery, Mason, congratulations,
Thank you.
and Fogged. So Mason.
Disclaimer: this is not the same Mason.
No, it is.
Greg,
What's it
can't you
like?
let me have my moment just once?
What's it like playing with Demon? Is he really a bro? This is
I
where you
mean,
can make up anything you
Is he a
want.
huge flamer? Yes. All right.
Yes to both. Definitely a bro. Bit of a flamer, but I mean, you know, it comes with the NA Dota territory. I have to say, though, that probably the highlight of my career in social media so far was when I got a tweet the day that Team Dog was announced that was tweeted at me, at WayDota, congratulations on your new team with Dota Demon, Misery, Pycat, and Fogged. I was
Cherish that
amped.
forever.
I absolutely cherish it forever. I
Print
retweeted
it out.
I retweeted it, and Coddle just replied, LOL. So, shout outs to Coddle Guy for crushing my dreams.
This team's this team's gonna get sponsored real fast though. They're so.
Yeah, this
team's
is a
gonna
hell
be
of a team.
amazing.
Do you think it's going to be good?
I think so.
And we've done this
Everyone-
before.
I think everyone underrates Fogged. Like he's
a very solid player.
Very well on EG, but that whole team was kind of
It was a
destined to
thing.
fail. Like the way that everything went down, and like they got DDoSed while they were living at the house, and problem. They just had problem after problem after problem. Like their fifth, like ran away from home. Well, whatever. So that was not exactly a stable team. MSS, he like ran away from.
Oh,
home. You didn't know
MSS.
that, Cheever?
I did not know that.
You
No,
read it.
I'm
Like
thinking
Dota.
who was that?
He was
Like
interviewed. He was interviewed at MLG, right?
Yeah. By how-
Yeah, he just kind of left.
Is
He
his
was like, yeah, I
face on
kind of
like
just
some...
left and showed up. My parents like apparently, yeah. He basically just ran away from home. So that was
Is
like
his face like on milk cartons somewhere right now?
no. I mean, I think
Wow.
they contacted his parents once he was there, but
We have your son.
Yeah.
It's fine. We give him a house.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I think this team's actually gonna be really good. Podcat and Misery have been. They're kind of like a duo that kind of just follow each other around and tend to do fairly well. Demon's
He's
like
Demon.
one of the most skilled players in NA if he doesn't throw real hard. Mason's a player that most people don't really know about.
I agree.
He's like an IXDL all-star. He is huge flamer, but really, he's really good. Like
He's solid. When I casted,
Fogged is just Fogged. So
I co-casted a couple NEL games and was watching the All Star game and stuff like that. And Mason was pretty consistently a standout. Tends to play the hard carry role, so we'll probably see him there. But yeah, he doesn't suck, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's really good. I don't know. I mean, I guess the biggest problem that they have is Demon and Mason like not throwing, but I think that they'll do pretty well.
There's a couple other exciting rumors. I don't remember who it was that made the statement, but apparently like Fada and the rest of old Team Mao's want to go to China to meet up with Black or something like that, try to rebuild Mao's over in China. Did you hear that rumor?
No.
It seems like a rumor and nothing more than that, actually.
Yeah, that seems unlikely.
Maybe they want to go to China and meet up with Black, but just for funsies?
Maybe.
Like, for fun, rather?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Black have another shot at something.
Yeah, me too. But I don't think he can do that in China.
Yeah.
I like Black. I had a very long conversation on Twitter with him about Dragon Ball Z. It was fantastic.
Now he's close to your heart.
Yeah, I love it. So, Mason, I'm going to let you feel the next point because you're the one who kind of brought it up to us about stand-ins.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Sheever, you actually might have a pretty unique opinion on this because you watched it occur, one of them anyway. It's about professional stand-ins.
So basically what I've been seeing, and it happens a lot in the CIS teams, is that like the top players like Dendi and Havost has a couple times, like stand in for the, I guess you could call them like tier 2 teams like Next KZ, Power Rangers, and they play in their matches, and there's obviously a very significant impact when a player like that plays for your team. And so, I mean, I know that stand-ins sort of have to be a thing, especially with not top tier teams, because they're not making enough money to necessarily live off Dota. They can't be there all the time. But, Sheever, what do you think about sort of these stand-in rules and the way they are, and do they need to be looked at a little more closely and regulated more, or?
I've had like my own opinion is still not yet decided on something, because I can understand both sides, because first of all, if you're a team with 5 people and you're fighting against a team with 4 with a stand-in, you're already slightly ahead because you have got your team thing worked out. You are with all 5. You have to be able to deal with stand-ins. But then if you're gonna indeed, like for example, if you have a game with tier 3 teams and you have like one is standing Dendi, then I would say your opponent has to agree with the stand-in, and maybe you have to already at the start of the tournament given up 2 people that can be your stand-ins or something like that. But it's really I don't have a solid solution for it, because as you say, people cannot make a living off Dota. Most teams cannot make a living off Dota, and you can't really expect all 5 people to be there all the time, because real life is still there, and for a lot of people it still comes first.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult. And if you then, like, if you're a team of 5 people and one of your players, has to work or something, and you can get Dendi as a stand-in, would you not say yes? Would you not want that?
Oh yeah, I'm certainly not saying that I wouldn't do it, but
I mean, I think the biggest problem for me is like most rules are like if as long as the other team agrees, you can have X stand-ins. Yeah. But the thing is that most teams aren't ever going to be like, no, you can't do that. Like, I don't think it should come down to players having the final say. Really, the admin needs to be the person who's like, yes, you can do this, or no, you can't. Because then you put the
rules has to be clear.
You put the other team in a really bad position. That's like, you can either say no and look like an asshole, or say yes and possibly just get rolled because the other team has Dendi now.
Yeah, it's.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a problem, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but admins don't want to necessarily have to look like the bad guy that canceled the game for all those viewers. Yeah, and there's definitely an argument to be made from an administrator standpoint. Like, we'd rather have the game go on that people paid for the ticket to see than not have it happen because we're not going to allow the stand-in. But like you said, you have to be the bad guy sometimes for the sake of fairness or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
My take on it is it's got to be in the rules. And how do you quantify good? Like, how do you say no Dendi? Like, if you're on X, Y, Z teams, you can't have them as stand-in because they're too damn good. If they've made X amount of money in a year, they're too good to be on your team. What constitutes that? And where is it from? Is it the tournament's place to decide what kind of caliber stand-in you're bringing in?
Most tournaments get around that by saying you can't be a stand-in for another team if you're playing in the tournament. But
Yeah.
even
Right.
that is still, like, you know, not necessarily fair, because sometimes, I mean, I don't know. Stand-ins are really tricky, though, because most players really can't, like, make a living, you know, especially in North America and, you know, a lot of parts of Europe. It's just way too expensive to live compared to what you can possibly make on Dota, unless you're, you know, unless you're one of the top 10 teams and you're winning tournaments. Because if you're really not winning, then you're probably not making enough money just off, like, online cups or something like that to actually, you know, pay rent and eat food, and, you know, you still have to work, and it's a really hard thing to deal with. But I think a lot of it comes down to admin discretion, but at the same time, it's a really hard line to say, you know, no, you can't have this person as a stand-in, because when you leave it to the team like it is now, I just think it's not, you know, it's basically not even a rule, because almost no team is going to say no.
No, I mean, if we were doing the staff cup, all right, and our 4th and 5th could be Dendy and Puppy,
Yeah.
would you think we'd say no?
We'd still lose.
We'd still lose because Mason would feed. But I mean, other than that,
Okay,
we
you
wouldn't
know
say
what?
no.
I've got 5 games left in my solo calibration for matchmaking. I'm going to finish them just to prove that I'm a higher rating than you.
You probably are, but bring it anyway. You're probably like 200 higher than me, but go ahead.
So just to kind of follow up on this, what do you guys think of, you know, it's sort of a similar situation, but with, like, teams in Korea like EOT bringing in Jo as a
God.
stand-in for their grand finals match.
Sketcher City, that was like, I heard that the player that couldn't play had family issues. But the thing, like, and apparently Kevin said that he really did, like, there really was a problem. But when you say something like family issues, like, sometimes obviously that's a very legitimate thing, but sometimes that's just like, all right, whatever, we're not going to touch that because it could be really sensitive.
And that's totally
And then-
fair.
But then you fly in, like, Jo. God.
Yeah, like, you
for
don't
the
fly in
finals,
somebody...
it's like, all right, guys, let's hire our assassin. Here he comes. He's gonna fly in and drop straight into the arena and try to take out everyone. But I don't know. I'm happy that they won despite that. In Blitz's blog, he said when he first flooded him, he said, "Get the fuck out of my country, Jo," which is A, hilarious because Blitz is from America. Like, he's American. B, that's just really funny.
He felt the patriotism of Korea.
What do you,
North
what do you
Korea,
think about
not South
Sheever?
Korea.
It's understandable that they want to do something, and to be honest, there is a bunch of Americans in Korea that won the sponsorship money of Korea. So, you know, getting him in for just the last finals is probably not the right thing to do, though.
Yeah, that's just. It feels really
Desperate.
weird to me. Yeah, it's like, oh well, we're probably not going to win. Hopefully, we can find someone to beat Blitz.
It
Yeah,
feels
but to be honest, I mean, they like, you know, I totally agree with that. They're still supporting and definitely helping the Korean Dota 2 scene grow. Like, without Zephyr, I would not watch it at all. I would not keep track of it that much.
I
So,
wouldn't either.
Yeah, that's very
so
true.
there's like they're creating a lot of hype around it just purely by being there, which is amazing. On the same time, there is like the sponsorship money that's just won is not in the hands of Korean Dota players. They're sticking around, so I fully support that. But it is it's understandable that EOT also wants to do something special, also want to have like a secret weapon and want to have someone that can do that. So yeah, they bring in Jo. Understandable for only the finals, probably bit interesting to say the least. But yeah, it's understandable.
It's a bold move.
Suspect. Yeah.
It's a bold move. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's whatever. I mean, Demon was there for the whole month. That doesn't bother me nearly as much. The whole Jo thing is just really. I mean, the thing is that Jo is Malaysian, so he does speak language that EOT Hammer speaks. So maybe it was like one of the only good options, but I don't know. It just seemed really weird to me.
It does seem weird, but once again, you've got so much money on the line.
Yeah.
Anything
not
goes.
thinking
It's
any
not
answers.
against
I
the
mean,
rules, you know
I'm
what
not
I
like
mean?
mad at them. I don't blame them or anything. I just think it's I don't know, weird.
If you could get Dendy as a stand-in, they would have probably done that too.
Yeah, I would get that. Like,
If you lose with Dendy as your stand-in, you just deserve to lose. He's a playmaker. That's what he does.
But that begs the question, though, do you think that Dendy could be Team Zephyr 1 versus 5? Because that's...
yeah, easily.
Okay.
I mean, not
You're gonna
literally,
get a
No.
mean
not
message
literally,
from Twitch in the morning.
Hold
not
on.
literally 1v5, but like,
@ Purge Gamers.
oh, whatever.
Quote sign. Hold on.
Oh, God.
All right.
I mean, I think it could. I think that if Dendy was a stand-in instead of Jo, they probably would have won. Yes.
I think that's
Entirely
pretty fair.
possible.
Meepo
It's
red
a
tapes and
bold
whatnot.
statement. But we can never
Whatever.
check it.
Hopefully, I don't get flamed. No, we can never check it. So you know, as far
That's a
as
bold
in my
move,
head,
God.
I win. I'm right. So whatever.
Well, our next topic is actually about. Did you get Sheever? Did you happen to see the Total Biscuit stuff that
Yes.
happened? All right.
Followed
So,
it.
okay, so Total Biscuit put a public statement on his own subreddit, basically saying, "You need to think about what you're saying about people because I know there's 1,000 good things you say about me, but the one thing you say bad, I see, I read, and I take it to heart, and and he can't stop himself. So it's like he just, and the reaction somebody has, he can't stop himself. He knows it's bad. He knows he's, distance himself from it, but he just can't help himself, and he's kind of a flawed individual. His health is taking a toll. It was all very revealing because Total Biscuit usually, when he first came in the scene, he was just this, British guy with a lot of attitude, did game content. And it's slowly over time, he's shown more and more of his, human side, obviously, because he gets more and more into the scene. And so what happened was, it took on a viewpoint about Dota and what happens with people like, LD, with AC, with Greg, with all of the personalities in Dota and the kind of shit they have to deal with. And I use shit as the actual term. What do you guys? I mean, to me, it's like a topic that's just. It makes sense. I mean, don't say stupid shit. I just feel like every time one of these topics comes up, everyone goes, "Yeah, we need to not do that. People need to be treated fairly, like human beings." What if she's a girl? What if they so on and so forth? And it doesn't really do anything in the end. You know what I mean? Like, it comes up as a topic, people talk about it and agree with it, and then the trolls keep trolling. That makes sense?
Yeah, but it's such a it's there, and I think all personalities in the scene accept it to be there, and it's very difficult to deal with because, as in, it's going to be there.
I've seen your chat. It's sometimes not very nice.
I was
That's
casting
being nice about it.
I casted for 20K people last Saturday, and I came home from going to the movies in the evening, and I was incredibly happy that for the first time when I casted for this many people, there was no hate thread. Like, that's something I'm happy about. And, that's something, apparently, that's a given for a lot of people, that if you do something, you get hate, and it's accepted for a lot of people. But, what Total Biscuit says in that post as well is that it's a death by 1,000 cuts. I believe he'll use that sentence. Mm-hmm. And that's so true because, most people can take it. You read it every day. You see it everywhere. You're used to you seeing the same comments over and over again. So you kind of, take that into stride. But if it only hits in the wrong day, you're in the wrong mood. I don't know, you got out of bed with the wrong leg. That's a Dutch saying, I guess. But
makes sense though.
It's
we have a similar one. Wrong side of bed.
One day you're having a bad mood, and then all of a sudden you only have to get one comment, and your entire day is the shit. And that stuff like that has a big impact. And I think a lot of people don't know how big of an impact they have, what they say. And overall, the negativity people, the naysayers, are more vocal than the yay-sayers.
Yeah. Most people who are happy don't, make a thread that's like, yay, good job. It's just like, oh, they did their job. But if you do one thing wrong or say one thing wrong in your 4-hour cast, you misspeak once, and you'll get a thread about you, and it's like, all right, well, whatever. It's really hard because I know a lot of the really popular, some of the really popular StarCraft people, I would say, are more popular than anyone in Dota, like Day9 and people like that. I know a lot of them just say that they never even read. They don't read Reddit. They don't read Team Liquid.
They have friends doing it.
But they
actually,
have friends. Yeah,
sometimes.
they have their friends read it to see, if there's anything constructive. But that's really hard because a lot of people from Dota are grew up with basically came from the community. Yeah, in the community. I know for me at least, it's like I could never like step away from the community. It's where I met a lot of people. You know, you kind of came from it. Me and Sheever both started at a similar time at Ghost Gamers, like a really long time ago, right from the community. So it's really, it sucks when, I mean, now it's like, sure, the subreddit's 10 times as big as when we started, but it hurts just as much to have shitty things on there. So
yeah, because are you suddenly going to stop reading forums because
no,
you turn
you
into a personality? No, and it's, you know, it's in your rhythm. You're gonna read it.
And it's like it's the opposite of what you want to have to do. Like, you know, when you be more popular personality and like you're known by people and people tune in to what you do, you want to be able to still interact with them in the same way that you did when there were 20 people watching as opposed to 20,000 people watching. You know, you want to try really hard not to lose that personableness with your audience and with the community. But I mean, I think one of the really important things that he said, that Total Biscuit said, is that thick skin can only get you so far. And, you know, the death by 1,000 cuts, you know, your thick skin might absorb 999 of them, but when that 1,000th one comes down, there's nothing you can do. It's just, eventually it's going to hit you, and you sort of have to make the decision, like he did, to pretty much withdraw himself completely, just, you know, for the sake of his own mental and physical health, or sort of soldier on and hope for the best.
I think one of the classic examples, actually, for us is AC, right? Because AC was very warm, welcome to the community. He would read off every name in a chat, no matter 20,000, 30,000 people, right?
That was still one of the most incredible things.
It actually was. It's amazing. I've never seen anyone do that before in my life, and it was very touching and honest. And then he went and he moved, and he wasn't able to do it, I think, because just time constraints. And then all the shit happened, right, with the D2L and the stream quality, the amount of ads on it, and all this stuff started snowballing, and they fixed it. But ever since that time, and the flame he's taken, because like it goes like we love Cap, we hate Cap, we love Toby,
like
we hate Toby.
Yeah, it's like the flavor of the month on Reddit.
It's the bandwagon. Yeah. Hop on it, and you'll see where it ends. Yeah.
And so what happens is like he stops talking as much, you know. And does it suck? Yeah. Do I think we, as a community, had something to do with it? Fuck it. Yes, I do.
You know,
really like it only takes so much. No, you can't.
I mean, the community gets so large that. I mean, my biggest thing is criticism is one thing. Like, getting real criticism is something that, you know, at least myself, I actively like seek out like good criticism, like not necessarily positive criticism, but like good quality criticism that, you know, what can I do better. Sometimes I even watch my own casts, which is like the most painful thing. But things like that is like criticism is fine, but when you see threads that are just like fuck this person, they suck, they did nothing right, like that shit is just terrible. Don't do that. Criticism is fine, don't just be that random hater, I guess, is my only. I mean, you can't stop it, you know. All the people who are mean on Reddit don't watch our show, but it's just try to be aware, like use the downvote things effectively. At least myself, if something gets hidden, I never unhide it, especially if it's a thread that pertains to me, because it's probably just some really,
you know, it's just it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I know for at least Total Biscuit, part of the problem is like stuff like that. He will dig down threads because he's sort of obsessive about it, which I can completely understand. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I have moods like that too.
Yeah, like
just
sometimes I'm like, I want to know what everyone is saying about me, and you look for it and you find it. And sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good. And you know, he does that a lot, which seems weird, but really it's completely understandable when you're making content like this. And,
it's human.
But
you want to know
really
what people say about you.
Those really bad comments can really get you down.
Yeah, I heard today from a caster, Coldblue. He reminded me about a video that Purge once made about how to get into casting, and Purge named it like, okay, you know what? It's like you're standing on somewhere, and people are walking past you and hitting you in the face, and most people don't say why they just continue walking on. Most people don't say why they hit you in the face, and you're like, you know, why are you hitting me in the face? It's like that basically. You get punched every time. You can take it at some point, but you know, it's not constructive because you don't say why you're getting punched. It's kind of a
I don't know. I don't really know what my end comment is about this. It would just be, just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Whatever it comes down to is just don't be a dick.
Be excellent to everybody.
Just don't be a dick. I'll settle for that.
Or the wise lesson: don't treat others the way you wouldn't want to be treated yourself.
Absolutely.
Close enough. Yeah.
Shout out to Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I don't know. Like, yeah, personally, I don't really, I am not nearly as large as a lot of the people in the community, so I don't really get hate threads or praise.
Yeah,
threads.
nobody talks about you. I mean, we just hate on you.
I get some really, like, you still sometimes get, like, even at this level, get some really mean tweets, and sometimes you get some really nice tweets, so I don't know.
I am totally bloody unknown, and so no one really gives a shit about me or makes comments about me yet. But I will say, like, in junior high and all that, I was bullied. I mean, I know it's incredible to think about because I'm as cool as I am now, right? But there was a time when I was younger, right, where I would get bullied. And I will say you do develop a thick skin about it. But over the years, it affects you. Like I was very antisocial in some respects. I wouldn't go up to groups. It does affect you, even though you think it doesn't. Yeah. And so that kind of stuff, once you start casting and you have people saying this shit about you, like, oh, she says, oh, well, every, 2 minutes. You start thinking, did I say oh, well? Did I say that? I don't know if I said that. I don't think I did. What if I did?
yourself saying it?
And then you're like, oh, and then you stop, and then for me, the worst thing that ever happens is if something, like, goes wrong on the stream, like, for it's gotten better now, but like it used to be, if anything went wrong with the stream, like I forgot to change the overlay or something, literally for the rest of the cast that would just be all I was thinking about. Like, I don't know, it gets in your head sometimes.
Luckily Greg has fucked up so many casts.
Yeah, luckily I've forgotten the overlay so many times that
it's just
now
become passing at this point.
About it now.
All right, well, I think we've hit that topic a fair amount. Yeah. Just don't suck, people. Like. If you type in a text box and you wouldn't say it to your good friend and face to face,
if you wouldn't say it to the person at a LAN, don't fucking say it because it's
so. No. People flame at LANs too.
Really?
Thanks in face. Yes.
You got flamed to your face.
I got flamed in the row behind me. No, DreamHack Winter 2012.
Did they know
remember
there?
Somebody
was it like
flames you.
offhanded? Was it like, oh yeah, that's Sheever, she sucks? Like,
nope. I was like, it was in range, hearing range, and it was very clear that I was.
I think you should be like fully within your rights to turn around and smack him. Like that should just be okay.
Yeah, and then Reddit jumps on that. That's I have to think about my reputation.
I would love that Reddit thread. Sheever slapped me at an event. I would love to see that. Please make that
highest
happen.
upvote ever.
Oh my
I gotta say, I give credit where credit's due. I mean, being a personality seems tough enough, but being a personality and also be a woman has got to be tough. So I give you credit where credit's due. It's got to suck sometimes, you know.
But it does for
no,
everybody.
It's not so bad. No,
yeah,
it does.
No, it does, but it does for everybody, I think. Yeah. It's even different. Like you mentioned AC gets a lot of hate, but everybody gets a lot of hate, and no matter how much you get, even if it's just a little amount, it still sucks because. You already mentioned, like, the bad things. You think you remember the bad things. You don't really remember the good things. That's from a thread, for example. So regardless of how much it is, it just it's there. So yeah.
1,000 attaboys can be wiped out by 1 shit. Yeah. As they say.
Yeah. So, and if you flame me in public and in person, I will this time slap you in the face.
Yes.
There you
go. We are on record
really
saying it's okay.
Like,
so
at TI, like I met Gran. Even Gran was a nice person.
Yep.
Like so many people in person are just like, even people that you know are like the biggest goddamn flamers. Like when I was at Columbus, I hung out with all the NA Dota kids, and they're like all the nicest dudes like on the planet. And you go on that forum, and I feel like I'm infected with the disease after I leave. But I love it. Like I can't get away from those forums. So I don't know. Just. Yeah. All right, we're done. We can move. We're done
NA
with this
Dota.
topic.
So
NA Dota.
MLG expands to Brazil. They announced a partnership with Grupo Aguia. Thank you, Spanish-speaking friend, to start expanding to Brazil, a market that MLG President Mike Sepsos calls one of the largest growing communities in the world. Markets in the world, excuse me. So we've actually had a lot of expansion recently in terms of tournaments, right? We've had MLG go to Brazil. We've got Star Ladder, which we'll talk about in a second. How many... I think this is good for Brazil. Because there's not enough... I mean, remember with American Dota League and the Brazilian teams? Mm-hmm. They kind of got...
Yeah.
They got rolled. Yeah.
They got pretty bad, you know? Mm-hmm. And... What do you guys think? Do you think Brazil was the proper place to expand into for MLG? Or should have they tried to go into Europe or
sense. I mean, it's an extremely undersaturated market when you look at it compared to Europe or NA, or mostly Europe. NA is not that saturated right now, at least for Dota. It starts with Call of Duty, but I have to imagine there'll probably be some kind of Dota event. It seems like MLG is kind of on the Dota train now.
They've been putting a lot of resources into it. There's no reason that we can't.
A lot of money on Dota, so.
Oh yeah, there's no reason that we can't reasonably expect to see Dota and some other games make their way officially down there if Call of Duty goes well, which I assume it will be. I mean, you have to remember, like, Brazil is a fucking enormous place.
Yeah, it's a big
like
country.
there are many people there, and it's. As the president said, it's not one of the largest growing markets in the world for no reason. There's interest there, there's people there, and there's a lot of teams. A lot of the teams, especially Dota teams that we see coming out of South America, are mostly from Brazil, with some Argentinian teams as well. But
Peru.
And Peru. So it's sort of like it's like you said, it's a very untapped area so far.
I think the SA teams are actually becoming pretty competitive, at least in the NA. At least
they're doing
the
really
NA
well.
Teams, Swag and
Tech,
are both pretty good, like in the realm of the NA teams like Denial, Sad, Liquid. They compete at that level, I think, at this point. So maybe a little bit below, but they're certainly becoming more competitive. So maybe something like this is really going to help. Sort of on the same. I don't actually. Let me see if this is on here. No, it's not. So I'll talk about it now. MLG also restructured Anaheim a little bit. Originally, if you guys weren't following Anaheim, it was supposed to be 16 teams with some amount of qualifiers from NA, and it's like, I don't know, 16 teams, something. I don't remember the specifics. But they've changed it to 10 teams, with the top 4 teams from Columbus getting an automatic invite, and then there's 3 NA qualifiers, and then there's this is like the initial draft, basically. These numbers might change a little. But the one thing, really, what I want to talk about that they said is that the 3 NA slots will not change. There will absolutely be 3 qualified teams from North America, which is, in my opinion, might be a lot, but I think for MLG, it's pretty clear that NA and presumably South America, if they make some sort of Dota thing there, is really a priority. Developing it, making it more competitive, and I like that a lot. I think it's great.
It's the right way for them to expand. Like, it makes more
really
sense in
growing the
Europe.
market,
They are, and that's great.
so I like it a lot.
Well, Starladder has also moved into the U.S. and China, which now we have MLG, right? In the U.S., obviously. We have Starladder now joining us. A whole lot of fostering of, like, the U.S. teams is going on right now. The American scene is actually picking up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And looking at the teams, there's actually teams that are pretty good. I mean, if you looked at it, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
When you're thinking about American teams, there wasn't that many teams. There's like Liquid, right? And then Dignitas.
It used to be like
right?
top 3, like Dignitas, Liquid, and EG, and now it's...
And then sort of like the floaters that just sort of like formed semi-pro teams as they felt like, because they weren't tied down by contracts.
But now you have people like, Sad Boys, as I said, which is the unofficial EG team, basically. Liquid. The Revenge is Swag, E-Hug, which Coddle's with now, and Denial Esports. And the teams that are going to be participating for the 2 spots in the qualifier is Team Dog, which is Demon, Pycat, Misery, Mason Fog, Union Gaming, House is Down, Osiris, PSST, Asurus, Dignitas, which is supposed to be unofficially
that is not the new Dignitas team.
It's not?
No.
I think it's
a big joke.
Dignitas.
That is a big joke.
No, it's now.
I'm almost 100% positive that's not the new Dignitas team.
You've been wrong so many times.
Dude, and I've also been right about a lot of roster things. I'm almost positive this is not the Dignitas team. It's a joke. But continue.
And WWD, which apparently, because I don't know much about this team, is named after the player WWD.
It's a Wild Witch Doctor.
Wild Witch Doctors.
Yeah, Wild Witch Doctors.
And IX Mike is actually on the team, which if they got in the qualifier, right, and they won, they could face Liquid.
Yeah.
Is he still under with Liquid?
He's technically still a part of Liquid, but he's not part of Liquid as a player, if that makes sense.
It's the same
kind of.
It's sort of like, he's like God, using the word mascot sounds so bad.
It really is. I mean, I'd buy it.
But it's the same as with Misery, right? Because Misery is still part of MYM as well as Team Dog. He's doing both.
Yeah,
So
it's a PR move.
yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, IX Mike's not a bad person to have like on your roster. He's you know, he does stuff in the community. People like him.
Yeah.
He's in the viewers.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I've had the privilege. I've been doing casting with Call Guy a lot lately, in between the American Amateur Dota 2 League and the Helios League, which we're doing right now. I've had the pleasure of casting almost all of these teams: Union Gaming, Osiris, PSST, Isurus, Dignitas, which goes under like 4 different names.
Yeah.
These are very good and evenly matched teams. Like, I know if you look at the Helios tournament, a lot of the games have sort of been blowouts, but now that we're down to like the quarterfinals, semifinals, which is Osiris, PSST, Isuru, and one more who I'm forgetting off the top of my head.
About 350.
Yeah, about 350. They're all
/Dignitas.
/Dignitas.
Yeah, same team.
They're all very close games. There's no blowouts one way or the other. So these qualifiers are definitely set to be a hell of some Dota matches.
They should be really good, I think. Yeah, I've watched a lot of. I mean, not a lot, but I've seen about 350 or Dignitas a bunch, because I like Nayrok. So
Yeah.
they're very good. The 2 is very talented. He's sort of like Mason. IXDL All-Star. Derp
Yeah,
Derp,
very good.
Chicken MC. Those are all very solid players. So
PSS
PSST is very good as well. Last Hit Magic
Yeah.
Last Hit Magic used to be on like some pro team. When I
They're
started
sort of like
casting.
They're sort of like the typical Mistakes version 2. They've got Fan of Soyun in there. But yeah, I mean, Relic and Knave, I mean, we know Relic is the Arteezy Slayer. And Knave is really solid as well. Last Hit Magic, Finith, both very good players. So yeah, those qualifiers will shape up to be great.
Yeah, should be fun.
And especially, most importantly, I do want to give a shout out to those South American teams, Isurus and Union Gaming, who have both done very, very well in
House is
Helios.
down. Wow.
And House is Down, yeah. Well, I don't think House is Down is playing in Helios.
Oh, they're not in Helios, though. I thought you were
So-
just giving a general shout out.
No. Well, shout out to them as well. But for the teams that I've gotten to see too, they're playing with a lot of the NA teams, the NA, NEL All Stars that sort of have a name to them already, and they're holding their own.
Now in China, right, the qualifiers for China, teams that have been invited are DK, IG, LGD, UC Gaming, New Team,
It's probably,
And Tongue-
probably the dream team.
and Tongfu Wanzhong. So the teams that are actually going for the 2 spots in the qualifier are DT.NGC, HGT, and ECIS. Don't know anything about them, I'll be quite honest.
I don't know anything about any of those teams.
Don't know a
The
damn thing.
qualifier teams, I don't know who those are.
And what is the Tongfu Wanzhong?
It's just Tongfu.
Guangzhou, rather.
But I'm not sure that they actually have a team at the moment. I think they have like a one-man roster. Like everyone keeps leaving Tongfu. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. No.
Isn't
Molly.
there like a one-man team right now? That's
Something
interesting.
along those
I
lines.
think-
It's not full.
I think there's about. I know there's about to be a lot of big changes in the Chinese scene. I'm assuming the new team is that dream team that's been kicking around.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm pulling up the thing here to confirm that Tongfu has no team. Yeah, Tongfu has like 2 players right now. ZSMJ is the only person I think who's actually on the roster right now. If you assume that whole dream team thing is happening.
God bless Molly when we need him. He'll tell us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Asian scene is confusing for me.
So, do you guys think that we can expect like big LAN finals events at the end of these? Like,
I know that that these people are going. Vilat was tweeting that all these people are going to the final. Well, not all of them, obviously, but people who qualify.
One team from each, right?
Yeah, I think something.
We'll
along
go to
those
Kiev.
lines. Yeah, like there will be teams from China and Kiev. Basically, is the
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like it's like the mini international at this point. Star Ladder.
Star Ladder has been. I mean, it's been an event for a long time, so I guess it's about time. I don't know.
I'm really happy. I mean, I'm always happy to see more LAN events with
More
teams from the East coming as well, because we don't usually get to see them playing against the U.S. and European teams very much, because the U.S. and Europe will play, and yeah, there's ping issues, but it can sort of be mediated by switching servers every so often. But I mean, for the most part, they're not going to play with the teams in China and Southeast Asia just because it's just too far away to ever really work. So it's always good to see a LAN event where the Chinese can kind of come and show what they've been up to as well. More so than just within their own scene.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes though. I don't know. I'm excited. I'll say that. Just to see. I'm not necessarily excited that it's Starladder. I mean, I like Starladder and everything, but I'm more excited about the fact that there's better opportunities to see multi-continent teams playing against each other, because it's just not really a thing that happens as much. The expense is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm
All
at
right.
with that.
Well, I think that's our show for this week, unless you guys have anything you want to talk about that's on your minds.
Sheever, have a
Topic we
soapbox
missed.
you need to stand on.
What?
Oh, God.
Say again?
Sorry, that probably made no sense to you. Never mind.
Something about a soapbox
Yeah.
to stand on because everybody else is short?
No, oh God. No,
It
he
basically-
would need-
let me
it
help
basically,
Greg out.
it means, do you have anything that you would like to talk about before we
Do you need to
Oh,
rant?
It's
you
it's
know,
an
like,
expression.
is it
It's
like
a
the
really
old-fashioned I
stupid
stand it like
expression.
a speech kind of thing?
Yeah,
You stand on a
exactly.
soapbox like a box, and you
Yeah,
like,
and you talk to
like,
people.
rant or
it's
whatever.
Really, it's
Well,
yeah.
damn it. That was
first of all, I don't need a soapbox because I'm already way tall anyway. So, that is
I
out of
can
the way.
confirm this.
But thanks for having me on, I guess. Thanks for being second choice. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Fuck.
We'll invite you first
never
time.
wanted to
We'll
on,
invite
that's
you
fine.
first soon. You'll be We'll have real questions for you and everything.
It was
Thanks-
awesome for you to come.
Thank you for Thank
thank you
for
so much.
The last minute save because
That
we
was
got
fun.
buzzed. So.
But I did a good
I
time.
watched, so it's nice.
Sheever saves the chat wheel.
Yay.
Once again.
Oh, it was fun. Thanks for having me on. And follow me on Twitter at Sheever Gaming. Yay.
Nice.
I'd also
Mason.
like to wait.
No.
Wait
No.
a second. I'd also
No.
like to say thank you for making those schedules. They are a
Oh, yeah.
lifesaver.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. How long
I
does
was
it take
actually-
you to actually make those?
Well, like right now, I'm probably going to be about 40 minutes before I sleep. And that's what I'd make the schedule.
So it's a decent chunk of time. It's like a while.
It's a decent. Yeah, I was actually at some point thinking about not doing it anymore. Because in slow Dota times, it's also getting a lot less upvotes, and then the motivation is kind of gone.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I kind of it helps myself so much because I know
Yeah.
what's going on,
You know what the
and
hell
I
is
want
happening.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always want to know what's going on, and I always want to know who's casting what and what's happening. So it's helping me a lot. That's how I started doing it as well, of course, when I wanted to find out which games were not casted. So I probably will continue doing it for a long time.
Cool.
They're very useful. Mason, you have any shout-outs you want to give? We're going to be seeing you on Helios tonight, right?
Yeah. Well, first of all, again, shout outs to Sheever for joining us so last minute and really saving our asses. The fucking capitalists couldn't wake him up.
God damn it.
Damn it, capitalists! We're gonna kill you. Just kidding.
No, we are.
No, we are.
Nope. As always, shout outs to all you guys who come and watch us every week. Like I always say, without you, we'd just be talking to ourselves, and we really do enough of that in our Skype chat. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at Wehdota, WEHDOTA, and go check out the Helios Esports Twitch channel in about 10 minutes, where I'm going to be picking up the 2 best of 5s that we have tonight with
Best
Cobble
of
Guy.
fives.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, starting
There
at
is
6.
some-
It was started at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there's 2 best of 5s.
Oh my
so it's going to be a
God,
night.
You better hope those are 3-0, because if not,
I'm going to
You
wake
know,
up
cons-
for
you're gonna
work.
be up, all night.
That's
Considering
a long night.
we're in the quarterfinals right now, and it's Osiris, PSST, Isuru, and about Tree Fitty, so they're probably not going
Probably
to be blowouts.
Who schedules 2
thought
best
that
of
was an okay
5s?
idea. What the fuck?
No offense to
We-
Helios.
we might move the second set to a different day if necessary, but at this point, I've sat myself down. I'm ready to get it done, and I may as well finish it.
Like 15 monsters just lined up, all connected to each other with a straw, so you don't even have to move. You just, yeah, that's what I would do. Lots of caffeine and whiskey.
Greg, you have
Also
any
whiskey.
shout-outs?
You can follow me on Twitter at WhatIsHipTV. I've actually started casting again, which has been really fun. So if you want to watch me cast, I've mostly been on the Join Dota community stream. I've also occasionally been casting with Cobble Guy when he is lacking in the co-caster department. So it's been a lot of fun. But the easiest way to find out if I'm casting is just follow me on Twitter, because I generally tweet incessantly when I'm about to cast something.
Guys, Jareth, I'm going to interrupt you because we forgot our most important shout out so far.
Alright, I'm ready.
My body's
We
ready.
have a new team member,
Yeah,
guys.
we do.
Oh,
So-
yes.
We meant to do this at the beginning of the show, but running around like crazy kind of screwed us over. So we at WhatIsHip.tv would like to formally welcome Shannon Knights and Shannon to the What Is Hip TV team. She's done interviews with a bunch of pro
Banners,
players.
like a cracker popper or something.
That was bad. I'm sorry.
Pretend we had that.
Yeah, we'll pretend. She just did a really great interview with Ake that's up on our site, and she's also going to have another really great interview in the works. Hopefully will be out by the end of the week, depending on if
Hopefully
the other
sooner
person
than
wants
that.
to respond anytime soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon enough.
So
With
yeah,
another
we're-
one on the way as
yeah,
well.
and another one on the way. So,
So-
she's really been killing it in the past like week that she's been here. So super shout out to Night's End. She's been in our chat since like the start of the chat wheel. She's done a really great job so far, and we're really excited to see what she brings to the future.
Yeah,
Nice
so
job, Mason.
I'll tweet about those. Thank you, Mason. I'll be tweeting.
I got you guys.
As for me, you can find me at Darius, and I don't do anything but host this really right now. I'm useless.
I still love
So
you. Kinda.
I know.
You're the old man with the wisdom.
Come fold my laundry, and I'll definitely love you because there's a lot there.
Probably smells like dog fart.
He'll trade you 10 Twitter followers for each shirt folded.
So
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week. Sorry about the delay. Obviously, we blame Napotalist, and we'll be back next week with. Actually, should we mention the guests we have lined
yes,
up already?
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, we've got Pyrian coming on next week.
Thanks for stealing my fucking thunder.
You know what? I organized it. I can steal your thunder.
Oh,
I don't
my
care. I'll
God.
take credit for it. That's what Greg does.
That's true. That is what Greg does.
I made that up
Comment.
completely. Actually, I have nothing like to base that on. But anyway, yeah, parents will be with us next week. I think we're going for around what 6 o'clock. We're thinking
5 or 6.
5:30.
5 or 6,
Eastern,
5:36
something
Sunday,
like that. Yeah,
Yep.
Sunday.
and we'll see you next week. And remember, you can tweet at us if you have any questions, issues, comments. Hopefully, we'll have the MP3 up eventually.
By
Amazing.
tonight this time.
No comment.
Uh,
See you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.
Sheever,
Bye,
thank
guys.
you again. You're a class act. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's fun.
Ooh.
How do you mute just Skype? Is it virtual audio cables?
Oh yeah. Ian Collo moved heaven and earth to get that thing working.
Because I have not figured that out yet, and I was impressed.
Ask Cotto Guy.
Collo guy is